I absolutely love when Hollywood decides that they want to weigh in on something they've clearly taken zero point 0.0 seconds of their life to understand even the absolute basics. Now, sometimes it's A-listers, although that's rare. What I find is mostly it's Z-listers, absolute losers like Patton Oswalt or Josh Gad or relative nobodies who are putting out these political hot takes because what they're doing really is trying to add some cachet to their name and try to get hired, try to get work in Hollywood. It's absolutely pathetic because they are willing to actively divide this country with knowing lies in order to try and get a paycheck, because ultimately that's what all of this is about for them. They actually don't understand the issues whatsoever. They've been programmed so deeply to these NPC talking points that they're willing to just admit they didn't watch any of the trial whatsoever without saying they didn't watch any of the trial whatsoever. Now, I want to start with actor Josh Gad, a man whose long list of films I couldn't name but one of them. However, apparently his opinion on this court case is extraordinarily important to those whom which automatically agree with the prescribed NPC position. Actor Josh Gad says verdict of effer Kyle Rittenhouse a go-ahead for vigilantes to end protesters, then calls critics incels. Are you kidding me? Actor Josh Gad claimed Friday that the full acquittal of Kyle is a go-ahead for vigilantes to just go ahead and end protesters. Tell me you didn't watch any part of the trial without telling me you didn't watch any part of the trial. By the way, if you don't already, I'm on Twitter. If you could follow me at twitter.com/thequartering. I will continue to dunk on these morons as much as I can, although it's difficult on Twitter, given the political leanings of it. I am seeing some progress. I am seeing a lot of ratios on these tweets, and that's really, really good. After receiving pushback, he then claimed his critics were, of course, ists and incels and anarchists. None of these gentlemen that were dispatched that night were protesters. They were rioters. They were people who were looking for trouble. Were they up cleaning graffiti earlier that day like Kyle was? No. Were they putting out dumpster fires like Kyle was? No. In fact, they were the ones starting them. Josh Gad would know even the most basic part about that if he bothered to look into the case, but whoever is informing his idiocy doesn't care. We'll see how quickly he buried that up. I mean, it seems like he's awfully quick to try and bury that tweet, right? Timeline cleanse. This is what people do when they get destroyed. Like an 18-year-old, first of all, he was 17, who ended two men in cold blood and got away with it, is being hailed as a hero by many today. You mean a man that protected himself? Like, is that what you mean? A man who protected a kid that protected himself? Imagine living in this world where, like, you have no clue about anything in this case. Like, absolute zero facts. All of the videos are available online for you to review, and you choose not to. It's like Independence Day for ists and incels. Okay, is this 2016? Kyle was, of course, charged with defending himself unfairly, in my opinion, and beat those charges. Josh Gad. And then we've got a lot of other Hollywood morons and just doling out the cope and seethe. Again, these are all, I don't know, Z-list. I don't know, couldn't tell you many of the roles. This guy is playing Commissioner Gordon, I believe, in the new Batman movie. I think he was in Westworld. Don't know who either of these other two people are. After almost 3 weeks, since the trial started, the jury found Kyle obviously not guilty. We know that. Woke Hollywood actor and comedian Patton Oswalt couldn't help but make it of course, a fairly racist remark, writing, "Want to be a Supreme Court justice? Want to end two people and not go to jail? One, cut some onions. Two, be white." Okay. Do you mean the guy suffering brutal PTSD on the stand? Is that what you're referring to? Because that's really soulless. But these ghouls don't have souls. Alyssa Milano made a rather uncharacteristically mellow comment asserting "effing not guilty" to show her frustration with the jury's decision to make the right decision. Well, get ready for Senator Rittenhouse. Simply wrote, "Can't hardly wait" actor Ethan Embry. Can't hardly wait? That movie came out in like the 90s. 200 likes. A complete nobody. But gotta remind Hollywood that you're on the right side. Daniel Day Kim, another actor, seemingly sarcastically commented, "In other words, news you could see coming from a mile away," regarding the trial's verdict. Again, what you're seeing here is because these clowns view Kyle as a surrogate. I would be willing to bet if you asked half of these people, they couldn't even name the people in the case. I would also be willing to bet that they probably think that some of them were black. That these people are so convinced that this is a race issue. That's the only way you can make statements this idiotic, this moronic. There's no chance you make comments this ill-informed unless you just don't care about the facts. Mia Farrow writing, "So anyone can just come to a protest, march down the middle of the street with a massive protect yourself machine and end people?" See, those three men wouldn't have had any interaction whatsoever with Kyle if they didn't try to hurt him. Again, a very simple fact from the case, a fact that even Gage himself does not deny. You know, the guy whose bicep got vaporized? The guy who wants $10 million and watch that get vaporized on the stand when he admitted that he only received the lead injection after pointing his weapon directly at Kyle's head? Inconvenient truth, but one that is readily available if you're willing to look. These people are not interested in looking. Bad feminist author Roxine seemingly implies that Judge Schroeder is in some way responsible for the jury's decision to acquit him, and even made the bold claim that the 18-year-old on trial is, of course, a supremacist. Based on what? Nothing. I don't know if you can actually sue any of these people online because you could just say these heinous things and there's really no, repercussion for it. The news publications, that may be a different story. I assume he hires the same legal counsel that Nicholas Sandmann had. Stephen King, of course, in the Kenosha footage, Kyle looks eerily similar to one of the people who did the school event. So the white guy goes free. Is that the message? Stephen King, first of all, hasn't been a good author in 30 years. And Donald Trump broke him. Completely broke him. There's nothing left of the old Stephen King. He is a full-on TDS lunatic. Jeffrey Wright, OJ on the Rittenhouse verdict. Are those the same things? It's always these zealots like Michael Ian Black. In fairness, Kyle only ended 2 people. It's not like he was smoking herb. What? These are the people, and what's sick is so many people look up to these. Rosanna Arquette just makes a heinous statement about Kyle. Now expect the vulture media to swarm around him, the killer, and his mama. You mean the guy who defended himself? Josh Gad, absolutely no words. Why did you want him convicted? I would love to. Any of these Hollywood morons, okay, give me 5 minutes of your time. I want you to tell me why you think he should have been convicted. And if you can make the statement without including factually incorrect assertions, I would be shocked. Shocked. These people are all garbage. Now, there are people who supported it, like Randy Quaid, Adam Baldwin, putting, Nick Searcy, of course, saying, even with the president himself, Nick Searcy writing, what are you angry about? The Americans have a right to defend themselves from being ended by your voters. But that's, Biden saying, while the verdict in Kenosha will leave many Americans feeling angry and concerned, myself included. Why? I suppose if somebody was bashing your skull in with a skateboard, Joe, you would just sit there and take it, right? I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.